Hey, howdy, hey, Helsing here.
Holmes here.
And we are the Overcasters. Ah! I feel like... Yes, welcome. Today is a special edition of our podcast because we're talking about PAX East 2015. What happened today, Mr. Holmes?
Well, today at PAX East there was a Blizzard panel in which they showcased Overwatch, Hearthstone, and Heroes of the Storm. But fortunately for us, they began with the Overwatch, spoken by Jeff Kaplan.
Yes, Jeff Kaplan
on Overwatch. So, with that, they revealed 2 new heroes and a new map.
A new map. That brings us to our first point. The new map is a payload map. It is called Watchpoint Gibraltar. You can see it right here above us, Watchpoint Gibraltar. Now, this was the map that was teased, 2 or 3 weeks ago, which is funny because in the picture that they showed back then, there's no better pictures that they've posted yet, so we're still using this same teaser photo. But you can't tell that they changed some of the logos because this is apparently an abandoned Overwatch station or base, and that wasn't apparent on this initial tease.
Yeah, Kaplan noted that the base is shut down.
It is a shut down base. However, we are there because although the Overwatch initiative has been shut down, there are a few members of Overwatch who want to bring the band back together, so to speak, in the words of Jeff Kaplan. Bring the boys back together, you know what I'm saying? So tell us about this map a little bit, Holmes.
Yeah, so Watchpoint Gibraltar, the story behind it is that since it's shut down, Winston has great interest in it because it is apparently a key point for communications for Overwatch. So he is trying to get communications back online through this Watchpoint, sending a rocket out to who knows where, his monkey.
Who knows? Probably up to, well, it sounds like maybe it's like launching a satellite, so that way the communications can, triangulate, do all that space technology stuff. Because it is, again, 60 years in the future, so we'll see. I think one of the things I'm excited about is the, I believe, was it the attacking or the offensive group is going to be starting out in Winston's office or in his his quarters, and so it was cool because there was a picture. You could see there's like a tire hanging from the ceiling, but also like computers and lab stuff. So it's like, yes, he is an ape, but he's also a very smart ape. So I'll be excited to, because you have, I don't remember how long, like 30 seconds to a minute at the beginning where you're kind of you're locked off in this little area. So it'll be nice dancing around, doing your thing. It'll be cool. That's not confirming that there's a /dance, by the way. We don't know that. But I'm sure it's Blizzard. I wouldn't be surprised if they added some kind of taunt or emotes. Something like that. Yeah. But anyways,
pay to emote.
Yeah, that'd be funny. But I'll be interested to look around and see all the little Easter eggs. Like in Hanamura, there was a Murloc video, arcade game.
Yeah.
And so I think it'll be funny to see. I'm sure there'll be some kind of something Blizzard inside of his room, so that'll be cool.
My guess it'd probably be something like StarCrafty, maybe.
Yeah.
Something technology.
Something, or maybe an iPad sitting around somewhere that has Hearthstone.
Playing it.
Something. Now, a little bit more about this map. So this is a straight-up payload. So this is the first full-on payload, whereas the King's Row was partial payload, partial capture point. So this is payload from the get-go. Now, also, in King's Row, if there were no offensive people nearby, would the payload go backwards, or is that something unique to this one?
That's unique to this one.
Yes, I sort of thought. Yeah, so if attackers or if offensive people are near it, it's going to be moving forward. If a defender comes in the area, it's going to stop moving, and if there's no attackers at all, it's just going to digress and go backwards. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, very similar to how Team Fortress 2, how their payloads work. Very similar.
Have you been playing some TF2, man?
Yeah, I played a little bit just to get the feel for that kind of shooter.
Okay.
Fast-paced, class-based.
Definitely.
So it's pretty fun.
Cool. That's makes me happy to hear. All right, so is there anything? I think we're gonna go at this point and swap over. That's
about it for the map.
Yeah. So
although one more thing with the map is that the payload, just to give it a little more significance, is the rocket that needs to be launched.
Yes.
To get those communications.
A little bit of story element into things because it's Blizzard.
Of course, it is Blizzard.
All right. So now, who are we looking at right here? This is Zarya. Now, before we talk about Zarya, I would just like to say that Blizzard they're sneaky. They're sneaky little guys and gals. Because this is definitely the silhouette, kind of, that was on the magazine cover that we talked about last week, except it's been altered 100%. Like, that map did not have woman curves. The little the silhouette on the magazine was a dude with pecs, and he didn't have as big of arms. It looked more like an athletic person. So I saw this and I was like, oh, those little buggers, like they changed it, which is fine, you know.
I mean, they couldn't have just changed it, like from releasing the magazine thing to this.
No,
'cause obviously they modeled her and.
Well, yes, but I'm saying that it was a tease, definitely, like that. I think they were trying to misdirect a little bit.
Misdirect, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Misdirect, definitely.
Definitely. We were all. I think I was greatly surprised when I saw, this super buff woman. Just, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Blizzard, giving a little more favor, or equality gender-wise, which is really cool. Even Kaplan talked a little bit about that at PAX East, how they want to, appeal to both genders.
Yeah, the fantasy, both genders, as well as ethnicity and body size. Right. So enough about that. Tell us a little bit about Zarya.
Okay, so she's former weightlifting champion, or would have been if you read her backstory. But her big thing is that she's got this giant old particle cannon, like two-handed, big bad particle cannon. And this thing is so cool.
It is pretty cool.
Has this weird little orb that's kind of like her ammo in a way, and then it fires this really sweet-looking beam of just force.
The gun to me looks very similar to Winston's gun. It's just long range.
Yeah, Yeah, and it is a little longer range.
I mean, it's still mid range, but I'd say Winston is a short mid.
Yeah.
This looks like a solid mid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is indeed.
Yeah.
When you see her walking around, it has a decent distance, and it's not as lightning-y. It's more like
more of a phaser beam.
Yeah. So particle cannon, and so it has alternate firing modes. That's kind of something that is pretty unique to this game, I feel like.
Yeah.
That they keep incorporating with ranged heroes, which I like.
It's some heroes, it's the alternate fire is, you just get to zoom in. Or some heroes, it's like with Torbjorn, he's got the single shot as one of them, and then he's got kind of a spray, almost like a shotgun with his alternate fire. So I think that is cool, whereas... I think it just goes back down to they want each hero to feel unique. So if it makes sense for this hero to have an alternate fire, then do it. But if it makes sense for them to zoom in instead, do that, So
and I think with Zarya, they didn't want to limit her to just the beam, which is your typical beam lock on. Well, it doesn't lock on like Symmetra's, but it just shoots a beam.
Yeah, it does shoot a beam.
But then the alternate to that is kind of like this. What's it called? Noob tube.
It's like a rocket launcher, kind of. It's very similar to the Demolition Man.
Grenade launcher.
The Demo Man in TF2. So
the demo guy. That's right. Yeah,
you can get some good arc shots.
Yeah, and a small AOE radius, not too big of a AOE, but you can definitely you have to be accurate with it for sure.
Yeah, I think.
And so. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think that Zarya is there. She's first of all, she's the first. She's as of right now seems like the longest range sustainable tank because Reinhardt can throw his hammer, but that's on a cooldown, right? And so
Yeah,
Zarya is a
yeah,
tank
like
that can, and Winston can leap into battle, but she seems kind of, she doesn't, I feel like she doesn't want to be right smack dab, like she doesn't want to go toe to toe with Reinhardt or Winston. She doesn't want to be that close, but I think like 10 yards further away. So I think it's interesting. She's a tank that has a little bit more range than the other two.
Right. Yeah.
And she also is the only tank that has no mobility, which we'll I mean, we haven't gone over all of her stuff yet, but I realized she's not a mobile type of tank. So anyways, so those are her regular and alternate fires. Tell us about her other E ability or Q or whatever. Yeah.
So the next thing is her particle barrier.
Particle barrier.
It's just, another little bubble shield. It's not as big as Winston's. It doesn't you can't plant it down on the ground. It's
more like Symmetra. Because Symmetra has a similar shield, except Symmetra's doesn't do this special effect. That is what Zarya's is.
It's like a...
Yeah, and when enemies hit Zarya, it'll recharge her weapon to make it do extra damage.
And and the width of its beam, so make it a.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like an energy absorber.
Yeah.
More than just a shield. Which is pretty cool. It basically charges up her big old particle cannon.
Yeah, I'd be interested to. Go ahead.
Go for it.
No, you go ahead.
No.
By all means. Okay, fine. I was gonna say I'll be interested to see how much damage, like how big of a difference the damage, and how noticeable it is with that increase with the shield. Like, I don't know, is she gonna be totally super weak without it, or is she gonna be like OP when it's fully charged? That'd be interesting to see.
And that'll have to be shaken on the beta tests.
Oh yeah. Sure. And whatever it is now, it's going to change before we even get our hands on it, because internal things. So we won't have to worry about that. But yeah.
Right. Yeah. No worries. And so basically, she can use. It's kind of strange that they separated this into two different abilities, but it's her. Other abilities basically the same thing, except she projects it onto a teammate. So instead of having the bubble around herself, she's like, "Oh, here, take my bubble." And charge my cannon with it. Why don't you?
Yeah.
So and it has the same effect. So I guess. It's
so
just
are those two separate abilities with two different cooldowns? A self one? Because I know for.
Oh, that's true.
I don't think, because I know like Symmetra, for example, she could shield. Wait, could she shield herself? I know there was one of the support heroes that could put something on themselves, maybe a shield, maybe it was Torbjorn or something, but I think it was just something like you press Alt and then the same thing, and it's still just a one ability. So it would be interesting if she had two.
Yeah, I'm looking at Symmetra right now, and I think hers is just allies.
Okay. Well, I could be wrong. Anyways,
I don't know.
Let's talk about her ultimate.
Okay. So yeah, her ultimate is. Oh man, I think this is what makes her, a very valuable hero. Is her Graviton Surge.
Yeah.
So this thing has a pretty decent AOE radius. Can get if 5 enemy team members are all kind of like clustered together, then you throw it in the middle of them, and it just sucks them all together.
And it holds them there for a little while too.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you see them like being tossed around inside of it. It's pretty sweet. But yeah, obviously this has so much potential for team synergy. Like Kaplan did say, you could in competitive play you could line this up with McCree's his ultimate. You could obviously line this up with a lot of ultimates.
Symmetra's grenade.
Reapers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously there's lots of AOE things that can easily just wipe a whole team out with this if you manage to cluster them all together. Far as Rocket would be devastating with this.
Yeah, definitely.
Or even really any of the heroes that have.
Yeah, an AOE, like even Reinhardt getting in there and doing his slam up close would be nice. Also, I just want to make note that it's very similar to, Black Hole from Dota 2, Except imagine if black hole could like suck people into the sky, because you could put this on a wall, and I don't know how large the radius is, but you might be able to pull people up to like a smaller second level or something, because it showed them they lifted off the ground a little bit. So you could put it on, like, I don't know if you put it on like a ceiling, if it would suck them all the way up to the ceiling, or if it's just like, obviously there is a range to it, but it would be funny to to see some lifting
see
people,
some people floating up on the ceilings.
Yeah, like magneted to the ceiling or something. So that'd be fun.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah, that makes for a good shutdown too. One more thing with this is that I didn't think that they would make it this way, but it actually deals damage too.
Okay.
It's not just a lock thing. It actually does damage. So.
Yeah,
makes it all the more valuable.
If you go to the Overwatch website, you will see there's training videos that were showed at PAX East, and you see of her using all of her abilities in conjunction. And one of the things she does is she gets them all sucked up in the graviton, and then she just lobs those kind of grenade things, and they just killed people. So imagine if they die and only she's hitting them, what's going to happen when there's lots of people? People are going to melt in this thing.
Yeah, for real.
Cool. So that was Zarya. Now, shall we talk about Mr. McCree?
Yeah, let's move on to McCree. McCree. I keep wanting to say, like, there's, that common McGee name. And
Jesse McCree. Apparently, he doesn't like to be called Joel, whatever that means. That's going to be a lore piece for something. Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? Probably one of their... I could see if they do like a web thing, like another cinematic trailer type deal, like they did with the opening. If somebody's like, "Hey Joel, get over here," and then he gets all super mad and he shoots a bunch of guys, and then it's about to end, and he says, "Don't ever call me Joel," and then he just walks off or something like that.
Clint Eastwood, like.
Yeah, it's like, "My name's McCree. It ain't Joel." So, anyways, let's talk about what good old McCree does.
Yeah, so he has this Peacekeeper revolver that is just flippin' sweet looking.
Flippin' sweet.
I mean,
it's so big.
It's like, yeah, it's giant, obviously, and it has this cool little spur on the end, and it looks like a technologically advanced revolver, which is really sweet looking.
Mm-hmm.
And so it has, again, the alternate firing mode thing. With, I think it looks like the left click is just single, burst, or
and he's got a clip of 6 shots. That's a 6-shooter. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Pop, 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 pop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the left is
Bastion.
single, and then the right
Bastion
is
mode. Brr. So yes. So left click is single shot. Right click is you just fire off everything that's left. So that's his regular thing. What else does McCree have? Does he have any mobility, perhaps?
Yeah, he has a combat role that, it's just your typical dive in the direction you're going. So, has good escape with that, obviously. Also, I forgot one more thing with the Peacekeeper is that it has a lot of power and range.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kaplan was saying that you could basically
snipe people, except there's no way to zoom in, so you'd have to be, and it has a pretty wide, it's seemingly pretty wide reticle, so you'd have to take some practice.
Really aim it right.
Yeah.
You'd have
some
to
good headshots.
Get good at the, what was it called? With Call of Duty, there was like, how you zoom the sniper in, and it's
the no scope.
No scope, yeah.
Yeah.
Have to get good at no scope.
He's just Mr. No Scope.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So scope in with it.
Yeah. So
combat role.
Combat role, but also, what's special about the combat role?
Yeah, it when you do it, he reloads his Peacekeeper.
So
there's a plus to it.
Point of the story is never roll when you have full ammo. What you do, hold down right button, shoot everything as you're reloading, roll, and then unload some more. Come on, guys. That's it's gonna happen. You're gonna see people.
Enough.
You're gonna see people running around, and then they're gonna shoot once, and then they're gonna roll, and it's like, nope, you wasted it. You wasted it. So that's that. And then what about his ultimate? This thing looks ridiculous.
Yeah. Before we get to the ultimate, he does have one more ability.
Oh,
His
yes, his
flashbang.
flashbang, of course.
Yeah, those little guys that are sitting on his hip, which we were wondering about.
Yeah, it's not a
indeed
Molotov
grenades.
cocktail, but yes, they are grenades.
Or flashbangs, yeah. Which, does what you would
It says it's
expect.
blind and stun.
Mhm.
So it's stun for, like he said, a second or so.
Yeah, like a mini stun, and it does have a little bit of a radius too. It's not just like hitting one enemy; you can hit a couple of enemies.
Hit a couple enemies.
Yeah.
So.
And so that could really work well in sync with his ultimate, which is, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so broken. Deadeye, where basically any enemy, yeah, exactly, any enemy he sees is dead once he casts.
I love that the tumbleweed rolls by, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh god, I'm about to draw.
Yep.
I do think this is not going to be as. I mean, everyone moves so much, and there's a lot of places to hide. I think being used on its own to get any more than one kill is going to be extremely difficult. Also,
Yeah.
I would be interested to know if it was interruptible. Say if we go back to Zarya, if maybe she graviton bombed him while he's got his gun in the holster and it pulls him up. Does that cancel it, or what's going on? You know?
Yeah, we don't have that specified yet.
Yeah,
Doesn't-
so we'll
doesn't
see.
say whether it's interruptible or not.
We will see. Maybe they
Yeah,
don't even
so-
know. I'm sure obviously they're still testing things out. But
Right. But yeah.
so this one looks crazy.
So every enemy in his line of sight will be dead.
Insta dead.
he
Insta dead.
gets- Yeah.
Through
Which is why-
shields and through everything, right?
I guess so.
Because
they
you could use it on Bastion while he's just sitting there behind his shield, and Bastion while he's like, oh no, I must stand up, because he's got to get out of his siege mode, and then he dies.
right.
So
And I guess it wouldn't be as powerful if you couldn't go past shields, because then
yeah, because there's so many people with shields, so many people with shields.
too many
He would,
shields.
and because he's not, I feel like he'd probably be good, but it's gonna take a very capable player to be a good McCree, I think,
Yeah.
because he's not
Yeah, I guess
super
it won't be
mobile.
so-
He's got that one roll, but it's nothing like so many other abilities. People who have mobility, it's nothing like a tracer,
Yeah.
where- Yeah. So, all right, cool. So that is what was talked about, given concrete details about at PAX East. Now, they also did tell us, oh, and by the way, closed beta will be here in the fall. In the fall. Ah! Well, you know what that means. After BlizzCon is what I'm going to guess.
Yeah.
After
yeah.
BlizzCon, which will be probably October or November. I'm going to guess. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if they said, hey, BlizzCon, beta keys. Because last year at PAX East, they gave people Warlords of Draenor beta keys. And that was PAX East. So I think it'd be only nice if one of the things in the goodie bag for BlizzCon this year, which they haven't announced yet, but it's gonna have a BlizzCon this year. There's a new WoW expansion to announce.
Yeah,
There's gonna be more Hearthstone stuff. There's Heroes of the Storm, Legacy of the Void, Overwatch. They have too much stuff to talk about that I think the days of BlizzCon not happening every year might be behind us.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
obviously there might be some
got
years.
too much
Too much
snowballing
going
now.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna guess BlizzCon 2015. I'm also gonna say, I'm gonna guess, because it's the internet, I can make guesses and be wrong, no big deal. I'm gonna say that BlizzCon attendees get a beta key. At least I would hope so. That'd be nice. But
That'd be a good board.
but at the same time, that might be too many keys going out. But we'll see. So it's gonna be a year from the first time we played Overwatch till we get to play it again. And that makes my heart a little sad.
I know, especially when they keep teasing us with more
Teases.
and more.
And there's
But-
still so much stuff that has not. There's still the samurai. We don't know what he does.
Yeah,
There's still
yeah, that guy.
Mr. Biochem man. There's
Big
lots.
old bicycle riding guy.
Yeah. So who knows?
Yeah.
There's lots to talk about in the future. Blizzard. Thanks for all that. Now, so hopefully within a couple weeks or so, we'll be getting some more information. It would be awesome if the Overwatch people started actually being more active and saying, oh, once a week we give some kind of updates, because other games in development do kind of stuff like that. So it'd be nice to hear stuff on a regular basis from the Overwatch team. Now, is there anything else you have to say, Holmes? Because I want to talk a little bit about the other. Did you stick around to watch any of the other Blizzard panel, other game stuff?
I most certainly did.
All right, it's
too excited
it's the Overwatch podcast, but we're going to talk a little bit about games that aren't Overwatch, because
this is about PAX East.
We've talked it to death. Just kidding. Now, is there anything else you have to say regarding Overwatch specifically?
Overwatch. I mean, not really. I feel
not
like
really
hit everything. Yeah. It's just it is a bummer that we're gonna have to wait, but I feel like it's gonna be worth it.
Definitely.
I think that they're really investing in this one, which is probably why we're having to wait so long.
Yeah. Yeah. I was discouraged because I thought, oh man, last year was Hearthstone and it happened so quick. But then I thought, what is Hearthstone? It's way smaller. It's a way smaller endeavor. We already had Curse of Naxxramas, Goblins vs. Gnomes, and now, coming up, Blackrock Mountain, which will be cool. Except what I was most excited about was the phone version coming out within a couple of months.
Yeah! Oh my gosh.
That's going to be awesome.
I'm going to be on that.
I'm going to be playing that game again.
Yep.
Because I haven't played in a long time, because when I'm at home, I don't have an iPad or a tablet. But when I'm at home, I have other games that I'm gonna play, and so. But there's times when I'm out and about that I at school, if I'm waiting between classes, or if I'm waiting for something, I can just pull out the phone and say, hey, let me get a round of Hearthstone in. You know what I'm saying? So I will actually be using that frequently.
Yes, as will I, and probably everybody playing it right now.
Yes, I think the numbers will go up and up. Anything else about Hearthstone while we're talking about it?
The Blackrock Mountain, I'm super stoked about.
Yes.
This one really appeals to me. I mean, I wasn't I didn't get into raiding really with Vanilla WoW and Ragnaros.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really have the time for that, but it's still exciting, and I'm really excited that they're incorporating dragon-based cards.
Yeah.
Like
dragon decks.
That makes me really want dragons now. I don't have any because Blizzard hates me, or at least their RNG does.
and you're too cheap to buy any decks or any packs.
That's true. Yep. I give them enough money as it is.
It's true. That's true. And you can play free to play, so might as well.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm pretty excited about that.
Dragons.
So, more cards. Hopefully, I can actually keep up with the meta this time.
Yeah.
With Naxxramas,
with 31 new cards, I think it's good, these adventures, and just consistent content coming into Hearthstone, because it allows people, because the meta is constantly shifting, and people are, if you buy the thing, you're guaranteed these 31 cards. And that's what did they say, 7 wings? Or was it 5 wings? Either 5 or 7. So that means 5 or 7 legendaries that everyone gets just for whoever pays for it. So I think it's good for new players coming in, because or if you take a break for a while, you're like, oh man, I have no Goblins versus Gnomes cards, which is my case. I don't have any. Yeah. But it's because I played. I mean, I have 1 pack or however many they give you for free, just for logging in or whatever. But I think it's cool because it's with all, you can just jump in with the current thing. I don't have to go back and look what's the best cards from Naxxramas. I just go to Hearthhead or Hearthpwn, any of these sites to kind of net deck, because that's what I'm gonna do.
Now, one thing with Hearthstone that I've kind of thought about is, I have some friends that are just getting into it.
Okay.
And it's really hard for them because they don't have, they only have the starting cards.
Yeah.
So I feel like at this point, Blizzard should at least give some of the cards from each, little expansion to new players. That way they can at least have some of the meta cards and not just be left behind. Because it takes a long time to get back or get like a solid deck worked up.
Yeah.
And when so many people have been playing it for already like 2 years,
it changes now. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it would be nice if Blizzard made it a little easier and better for new players.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Gold. They should take from what Heroes of the Storm is doing, and gold, more gold.
Yeah.
Next.
Gold. Mega rain.
just more gold options, more things to reward players. As I think like they should add more gold for like ranking up and stuff. Like maybe every 10 or something, or every 5 levels. Every 5 levels in like on the ladder, give them 100 gold or however much, free.
Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say because free pack here and there is gonna make people want more, and so they'll give you guys more money. Come on now.
Yeah, come on. And I feel like the quests, it's kind of slow to knock them all out.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Especially
if you need
win.
The wins. It's like Druid and Hunter. I don't have either of those.
I don't have. And then you skip, and it's like Hunter or Warlock, and it's like I still don't have a Hunter.
Yeah. So it would be nice if they had new quests, or like you said, new or like gold handouts for ranking.
Something. Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, so that's Hearthstone.
Moving on from Hearthstone.
Also, which was announced, which I was actually the most excited about, was the
too.
Heroes of the Storm stuff. It looks. I just think that Dustin Browder, he just got up there and it was awesome.
Yeah.
He was funny.
Yeah, those technical issues, he just took it like a champ.
He just danced and was reading off a PDF off of some girl's phone. But so let's see. So we got a little bit of information on who are some of the top tier characters in regular play as well as Hero League, which is cool. I think
single player ranked
play. A lot of healers. Uther was on the regular, and I was very surprised, but he was not one of the top tier plays for Hero League, and I was like, okay, that makes sense.
I was surprised at Tyrande being a Hero League.
Yeah, in Hero League, well, I was like, I knew, because she's ranged, and if you know how to use her, because she can give the team quite a bit of extra damage depending on how you build her.
Oh, really?
But yeah,
I haven't played her too much.
Yeah, she's on the surface she seems simple, but especially with her marks, she can aid the team quite a bit, boost their damage, and provide a little bit of healing. But anyways, so they talked about some heroes that are doing well and that need some tender love and care. They also like Murky. Come on, though, Murky.
Aww.
Yeah.
You die in 3 hits, and anyway.
Then you come back, but you don't do anything during any of your lives. Now they also talked about the layer of the Spider Queen will be coming up soon.
Yeah. That looks really cool.
Yeah, small lanes, so there'll be so much more brawling, which everybody brawls in that game.
Yeah, everybody. It's like, get the objectives, and everybody's just fighting over in the corner.
No! I think it's good. A small map would be good for that kind of play, though, because it's like, oh, we can fight because it's literally like a foot over there where we need to be,
Seriously.
So.
And I think everybody is kind of like, or at least most MOBA players are already honed into this idea of I gotta get the kills, like our team's gotta kill everybody.
Heroes, brawl.
Which, Heroes is not based around that, but it's just still how people play a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Which is fine, especially for this map, like you said. So.
Definitely.
And then one more thing that they announced is new hero coming through is Sylvanas.
Yes, she looked great. She's a specialist / kind of assassin. If you're 1v1, she can get some good burst in, but also can take over mercenaries and minions and slow people down. She's got a little blink. She's got lots of fun stuff. Lots of fun stuff.
Yeah.
She disables enemy towers.
Oh yeah, that's
just from attacking them. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sylvanas, she
Usually
looks good. I was worried that she was going to be too similar to. I was like, well, what are they going to do with another archer? You know, there's
Oh yeah.
Tyrant, but then it's like, well, okay, let's see archers in the other games. League of Legends has Ashe, which is kind of a copy of both Mirana and Drow Ranger.
Yeah.
The
giant
so
arrow.
yeah, so I'm glad she doesn't.
No, Sylvanas is very different from those.
Yeah, she's got a disabling arrow, which could be seen
It's a
as
skill shot.
but it's a skill shot, but it's a silencing as opposed to like a stun and high damage. So that's
Right,
I
and
mean,
it's a big AOE too. It's not as pinpoint
Yeah.
as Ashe's frost arrow.
or Mirana's arrow of whatever her arrow is.
Yeah.
And
And the trade-off is that if you take the arrow, then you miss out on the mercenary
summoning
possessions.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be. I think most people are going to go for that because when you play Sylvanas, you're going to want to do some damage. You're going to want to feel like this awesome Banshee Queen, and not.
I found it funny in her trailer that they showed that she like totally just kicks the crap out of Arthas, you know? It's like, oh, your minions are mine now, and it's like, oh, dang.
Yeah, this is the reality that she wanted. I mean,
okay.
she
It's not the true reality.
Well, okay, so in the book Arthas by Chrissy Golden, really good book, I recommend it, you should go read it, everyone watching. But anyways, Arthas, when he's a Death Knight and is taking over Silvermoon City with his Scourge, she's like the Ranger General, and she resists pretty hard. And Arthas likes how hard she resists, and so he, instead of like just turning her into a mindless thing, he turns her into a banshee. So she's able to keep her consciousness and know that he's like constantly torturing her. And eventually, she escapes. She gets free and gets a body back, but it's not her original body. And then she's like, she hates everything. She's like, always, she's like, Arthas, I will get my revenge, but she kind of never really does. Kind of, sort of, but she's not the one who finishes him in the end in Wrath of the Lich King. So, but yeah, so that's why in oh gosh, what was there was some of the Lich King dungeons that came out with that ICC patch, or the one right before it. There was like one where Jaina Proudmoore was like in the instance, but then there was another one where there was Sylvanas, and you had to kill off these dudes before Arthas got you. And so I thought that was a really cool tie-in. Like it's just cool to see their kind of rivalry. So it'll be fun to play with Sylvanas as an Arthas and vice versa, and against like the dialogue exchange that will happen
because
between
they have the
them.
little dialogue things.
Yeah, so that'll be fun.
Like you.
So.
That's what Illidan says to Arthas. He's like, you. Anyway. But yeah, and more that they announced was more gold, which I'm pumped about. For leveling and stuff. So hopefully they redeem those who have already leveled to 40 for that.
Yeah.
And then also they added 10 more levels, which I'm kind of bummed about.
Well, there's gonna be
anymore.
Yeah, there's gonna be. Is there gonna be any kind of reward, or is it just kind of? I'm sure there will be, but
yeah, there will be.
But it's gonna be something like, oh, it's not as big a deal as the heroic skins, you know.
Yeah,
but
who knows?
So we'll see. Again, they didn't say any dates for any of this stuff, but it seems like it's all coming pretty soon.
Yeah.
And they are updating the user interface, which is going to be interesting. They're making the portrait a little bit more prominent and changing some things up with the score screen, which I actually really, when he said we're gonna have a score screen at the end of the game, I was like woohoo!
Yeah, about flipping time.
I always like right when I know we're about to win or lose, I'm always like, wait, click. I want to see like how, if I'm a siege player, how did I do siege damage versus the other people on my team? Because I like to kind of gauge myself. How am I doing? Do I need, like, am I playing this character correctly? If it's if this is an assassin, I want to be up there on the damage, So I like to see that kind of stuff, and just to who doesn't? So that all happened.
Yeah. We want to know how we're doing. Gotta get better, right?
Yeah,
somehow.
Definitely. All right. So, is there anything else you have to say to the fine audience on the internet?
Well, to the internets. I am greatly thankful for any of those who are watching this, and dear to my heart.
Dear to our hearts.
Gotta get a little personal.
You guys sat through 40 minutes of us rambling. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Well, that does it for the show. If you want to get in contact with us or anything like that, you could follow me on Twitter at Gabriel Hager. You could follow the show at The Overcast Show. You could send the Overcast an email at theovercastinbox@gmail.com. What about you, Holmes? Where can they find you?
All right, you can follow me on Twitter at BAGG07, and you can email me at holmes.bag@gmail.com. And then also, you can follow me on Twitch at Holmes1309.
1309.
So, there you go. I've been streaming Heroes. Probably will still keep doing that.
All right. Can he make the hook?
Yeah.
Can he land it?
Yeah. Can he land the hook? Although I've kind of starting to transition to Tychus now. So.
Tychus. All right. Yeah. That does it. That is our show. Thanks for coming by, guys, and we will see you whenever there's more Overwatch information. We don't know. Hopefully soon, but until next time, take care.
Bye-bye.